How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. It's so nice when you drop by the shop. Today's video, a little bit different. This job has already been done. You may have noticed in a video a week or so ago I posted about the little MTD tractor where I changed the carburetor. And in that video you may have noticed that I had a new piece of fuel line and a fuel shutoff valve installed. Well, that's what this video is all about, is installing that shutoff valve in that piece of fuel line. Just a little short one, but let's have a look. Just wanted to catch you up because I don't want you to miss anything about this MTD tractor. Let's go see how we make out. So here on the MTD tractor, I've installed a new carburetor, but I still had a fuel leak. So what I discovered was that this fuel line here is the one that I was going to save. Well, I don't think it's any good. So I'm going to take that one off and replace it. So I'll just let that go there. I also, the other day, I bought myself a pair of these, they're called hose removal pliers, I think was the name of them. Just see how these work. They just, the end is rounded there, so it'll just grab the hose, so you'll be able to pull the hose off. And look at that, it works. So this fuel line that I thought was good, it's getting kind of mushy inside too. Don't know whether you can see that there. There's a little bit of the rubber that come out of it. So I think the inside of that is getting pretty rotten. And when I straighten this out to look through it, I can't see through one end to the other, and it's only about 6 inches long. And my new carburetor that I put on was leaking fuel, and I think what happened was some debris from this fuel line after the filter. Some debris from this fuel line got into the carburetor bowl and was blocking the shutoff solenoid from closing fully. So anyway, I got a new fuel line, so I'm going to change this today. But also here on the rest of it, whenever I have troubles like with this fuel line, or even when I was putting the carburetor on and I had to disconnect the fuel line, well, I have a problem if there's fuel in the tank. So I end up putting my hemostats on here to shut the fuel flow off. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take the tank out again, and I'm going to install a fuel shutoff valve here, and then the filter, and then my new fuel line. Then I'll be able to connect that up to the carburetor, and hopefully I'll have no more fuel leaks, and I'll be able to shut the fuel off if ever I have to get in here to change this filter. So pretty simple. Take the fuel tank out. There's 4 bolts, 2 on each side. And there, the tank is free. So I have my hemostats on here, and I don't think the hemostats and the fuel filter will fit between this non-standard oil filter that I put on it and the crankcase. I'm going to take the fuel line off here at the filter and then try to pull it back through. So I'll just take this clip, move it back, and then once more with my new hose pliers. So there's the fuel filter. A little bit of fuel dripping out. And then a trick that I used to use years and years and years ago. Anybody who plays golf knows what that is, right? Those little pencils to give you in the pro shop for keeping score. And I didn't like these pencils because they had no eraser on them. So when you're keeping score in your golf game, it was a little hard to make adjustments at the end of the round. So anyway, we'll put that back on there. So now that should slip out here pretty easy. Just like that. So now I'm going to cut this hose and I'm going to put a fuel shutoff in it. Well, I got some more mail the other day, and I'm ready to add to my wall of fame here, my sticker collection. First off, I got a nice card and note from Mountain Acotts from Mountain Acotts. Great channel. Jason and his wife are from New Brunswick. They have a little woodlot there in New Brunswick. There's a sticker, I'll get in close for that. They have a woodlot in New Brunswick and they cut and sell firewood, and they do a lot of other things. In fact, he's just starting up doing a, getting ready to build a sugar shack to do some maple syrup. So, gotta go Jason. And he's got a nice firewood processing system going there. You should check him out. Mountain Acotts, I'll put a link down below. So we're going to put Jason up here. We'll put him right here under Steve, the transit camera. There you go. Mountain Acotts. Check him out. Alright, here at the bench, I can take my golf score keeping pencil out, you know, the one with no eraser. Because what I want to do is add this fuel shutoff, just a little twist valve. And I think there's a marker on here that shows, yes there is. There's a little arrow right there, I don't know whether you can see that or not. But it says the fuel comes from this side and out there. So we're going to put this right about there. Right about where I had those hemostats clipped on. So I'll cut my fuel line, and then I'll put this clip on here. Make sure that the fuel flow direction goes this way, so I install the shutoff here. And I'll use my new pliers. Do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, so that's on there pretty good. Then I'll take this clip, put it up there, and then we'll take the rest of this fuel line, put a clip on it. I need another clip for this, right? A new clip. Put that on there. I can just push that on by hand, it's quicker. I find when you can get at these fuel lines, like grab them both hands, put them on, you don't need the pliers. Alright, so there's my fuel shut-off valve. A little bit of fuel left in the tank. Let's see if this is going to work for me. Hold this up somehow. Oh yeah, look at that, she works. Okay. So now we're going to go install that again. I need another fuel or a hose clamp for on here. Then we can put the filter back on and then run our new hose line to the carburetor. Alright, I've got my fuel tank reinstalled, and here's the line down here with access to my shutoff valve. So that's going to work good. I'm going to take the old hose, going to take one of the clips off the old hose, put it on here. Put my fuel line back in place. Also, there's an indicator on it that says which way the flow should go, so pay attention to that. Okay, I'm going to get that on. Something like that. Now we need a little length of fuel line, and what I have here is I went on Amazon, of course, and bought a package of fuel line made in China. But what isn't made in China these days? There's 10 feet of it. I forget what I paid for it. I'll put a link down below. And it also came with a plethora of hose clamps. Now, so here's the new carburetor, and here's these choke and throttle levers are going to go up there. So that's going to go in there. So I want that to be not hanging down over the fuel or the oil drain. So I want it to be a little bit tight, but not singing tight. So I think I'm going to cut about that much fuel line right there. Put this in here. It's kind of a tight fit. There you go. Now I'm going to take one of my new clips, slide that over here, and lock that on there. So then when I connect that on to my carburetor, It should hold that fuel line in there pretty good. I'm not going to connect it on the carburetor just yet. I'm going to wait because I have a gasket coming for the back of the carburetor, so I'm going to hold off on that. So that's the way that'll go. I think we're done here until we get that gasket for the carburetor. So, you know, getting the shut-off valve installed on this little tractor is a good idea, I think. If you have small engines that don't have fuel shut-offs on them, I would put them in. It sure comes in handy. You can shut your fuel off if you're doing maintenance. Plus, if you have to store your equipment for long periods of time, it's nice to shut the fuel off, run the carburetors dry, because especially these days where there's ethanol in the fuel, you know, that really gums up a carburetor. I think that's the only reason they put ethanol in the fuel, is to gum up carburetors. I don't know, I'm no expert, but anyway. Also, you know, I hope I'm not boring you to death with videos on this MTD Gold tractor, but I'll tell you what, it's a fun project, and it's a project that I don't have to fix and get going tonight or right away. And that makes a big difference when you're working on something. Like the other day, that video I had about looking at the belt drives on it, I was able to strip the tractor right down to bare bones to get a really good look at what's going on with those belts and how they fit in the shivs and why they were working, why they weren't working, possible reasons why they could fail. So like that means a lot when you can take your time and do a better analysis and diagnosis of what's going on. So, you know, that's part of the reason I enjoy the project as much as I do. And that's why I'm filling up my channel with videos about the MTD Gold tractor. Hey, just a heads up, there's more to come. Anyhow, enough about that. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks a lot for dropping by. Boy, I hope you enjoyed the channel. I hope you come back often, and I hope you give me a thumbs up. And my regular viewers, I hope you give me a thumbs up as well. And, you know, anybody can leave a comment. I love getting comments, so you can add comments if you like. I don't mind that in the least. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a great week. I hope your lotto numbers come in, and we'll talk to you soon.